A human wakes up, not on the cold ground, not inside a cave, not under the threat of predators, but inside a soft bed, in a temperature-controlled room, protected by walls, locks, glass, machines, and electricity. He reaches for his phone before his feet even touch the floor. Food can arrive without hunting. Entertainment can begin without waiting. Friends can be contacted without leaving the room. Work can be done without moving the body. Questions can be answered without thinking for long. And boredom, one of the oldest human experiences, can now be destroyed in seconds. At first, this looks like progress, and in many ways it is. Humanity fought for thousands of years to escape hunger, cold, danger, disease, and exhaustion. We built tools, we built homes, we built cities, we built machines. We built a world where survival became easier than ever before. But now a strange question is starting to appear. What happens to a creature built by struggle when struggle disappears? What happens to the human body when it no longer has to move? What happens to the human mind when it never has to wait? What happens to human connection when people can avoid people? And what happens to human strength when life becomes too comfortable? This is not the story of how comfort saved humanity, and it is not simply the story of how comfort destroyed us. It is the story of something more dangerous. Comfort gave humans protection, but too much comfort may be quietly removing the pressure that made humans strong. Chapter 1. Humans were built in a harsh world. For most of human history, life was not comfortable. It was physical. It was uncertain. It was dangerous. Early humans did not wake up and check notifications. They woke up and checked the environment. Was there food? Was there water? Was the group safe? Was something watching from the trees? Every day demanded movement. Walking, climbing, carrying, digging, throwing, running, tracking, building, escaping. The body was not something separate from survival. The body was survival. If you could not move, you were in danger. If you could not endure hunger, cold, heat, pain, and uncertainty, you were in danger. If you were alone, you were in danger. Human beings were shaped in a world where comfort was rare and discomfort was normal. Even modern hunter-gatherer groups give us a small window into how active human life once was. Studies on groups such as the Hadza show adults averaging around 15,800 steps per day, walking roughly 9 to 15 kilometers, and spending about 135 minutes per day in moderate to vigorous physical activity. They are not a perfect copy of ancient humans, but they reveal something important. The human body evolved in a world of constant movement. Now compare that to today. A person can wake up, sit in a car, sit at a desk, sit during meals, sit while watching videos, and lie down while scrolling for hours. The body that was once trained by survival is now often trapped in comfort, and this is where the problem begins, because comfort does not ask anything from us. Discomfort does. Discomfort forces adaptation. Discomfort forces attention. Discomfort forces strength. Discomfort forces cooperation. Discomfort forces growth. Early humans did not need fitness apps. Life itself was the workout. They did not need productivity hacks. Survival itself created focus. They did not need motivational videos. Hunger was motivation. Cold was motivation. Danger was motivation. The tribe was motivation. The world trained them because the world gave them no choice. But modern life has changed the deal. Now, for the first time in history, a human can survive while avoiding almost every natural challenge the body and brain were built to face. And that sounds like victory, until we ask what we lost in the process. Chapter 2. The body still thinks it lives in scarcity. The strange thing about modern comfort is that our environment changed much faster than our biology. Our world became modern, but our bodies are still ancient. For early humans, sugar was rare. Fat was valuable, salt was useful, rest was necessary, warmth was precious, safety was temporary. So the human brain learned to chase these things. Eat when food is available, rest when danger is gone. Choose the easiest path when energy must be conserved. Avoid pain, avoid risk, avoid wasting effort. In the ancient world, these instincts helped us survive. But in the modern world, the same instincts can trap us. Because today, sugar is not rare, fat is not rare, warmth is not rare, entertainment is not rare, comfort is not rare. It is everywhere, It is packaged, it is advertised, it is delivered, it is designed, and it is always available. The brain that once pushed humans to eat enough to survive now meets a world of endless calories. The body that once saved energy for survival now meets a world where energy is barely required. The mind that once searched for useful information now meets infinite content. The social brain that once depended on real tribe connection now meets followers, likes, messages, and screens. The human organism is still running ancient survival software, but the environment has been completely rewritten, and that mismatch may be one of the biggest problems of modern life. We did not become weak because humans suddenly changed. We became vulnerable because the world became too good at satisfying our oldest cravings. The modern world does not attack us like a predator. It seduces us like a warm blanket. It says, do not move, do not wait, do not struggle, do not feel bored, do not feel pain, do not be uncomfortable. And the ancient brain says, yes, because for thousands of years, comfort meant survival. But today, too much comfort may mean decline. Chapter 3. Comfort was one of humanity's greatest victories. But before blaming comfort, we have to be honest. Comfort is not evil. Comfort is one of humanity's greatest achievements. The history of civilization is, in many ways, the history of reducing suffering. Fire gave warmth, clothing gave protection, shelter gave safety, agriculture gave food storage, medicine fought disease, sanitation protected cities, electricity extended the day, transportation connected distant places, refrigeration preserved food. Communication connected minds. Modern healthcare saved lives that would have been lost in earlier centuries. Comfort gave humans the chance to live longer, learn more, create more, and suffer less. Global life expectancy shows the scale of that achievement. Around 1900, average global life expectancy at birth was about 32 years. By 2021, it had more than doubled to about 71 years. That rise was not caused by laziness. It came from medicine, sanitation, food systems, safety, and public health, many of the same forces that made life more comfortable. So the answer is not to return to suffering. No one should romanticize starvation. No one should romanticize disease. No one should romanticize child mortality, constant danger, or brutal survival. The past was not pure. The past was painful. Comfort saved us from many kinds of pain that humans were right to escape. But every solution creates new problems. When humans escaped starvation, we created overconsumption. When humans escaped physical labor, we created inactivity. When humans escaped boredom, we created distraction. When humans escaped isolation through technology, we sometimes created a new kind of loneliness. When humans escaped survival pressure, we created a crisis of purpose. That is the paradox. Comfort solved many old problems, but it created new ones that humans were not prepared for. The danger is not comfort itself. The danger is comfort without challenge, safety without strength, pleasure without discipline, convenience without movement, connection without intimacy, information without wisdom. A soft life is not automatically a bad life, but a life with no resistance can quietly weaken the person living it. Chapter 4. The Body Problem. The first place comfort shows its cost is the body. For early humans, movement was not optional. Movement meant food. Movement meant safety. Movement meant survival. But in modern life, movement has become something we schedule. We invented gyms because daily life stopped training us. We count steps because walking stopped being natural. We set reminders to stand because chairs conquered the day. A person can now move less than almost any generation before them and still survive. They can work from a chair, travel in a car, order food to the door, use elevators instead of stairs, use machines instead of muscles. The body is still capable of incredible strength, but the environment no longer demands it, and the numbers show the cost. The World Health Organization reports that 31% of adults and 80% of adolescents do not meet recommended physical activity levels. It also estimates that physical inactivity could cost public health systems around $300 billion between 2020 and 2030 if inactivity levels are not reduced. This is not just about looking fit. It is about the body losing one of its most basic inputs, movement. Movement affects the heart, the muscles, the bones, the brain, the metabolism, the mood, the immune system, the ability to sleep, the ability to age well. A body that does not move does not simply stay the same. It adapts downward. It becomes efficient at doing very little. And modern comfort makes doing very little extremely easy. Then comes the food environment. In the ancient world, calories required effort. Today, calories require a few taps. Highly processed food is cheap, convenient, engineered, and everywhere. The body still loves dense energy because dense energy once kept humans alive. But now that instinct meets a world of abundance. World Health Organization reports that in 2022, 1 in 8 people globally were living with obesity. In the same year, 2.5 billion adults were overweight, including 890 million living with obesity. Adult obesity has more than doubled since 1990. This does not mean every person with weight problems lacks discipline. That explanation is too simple. Modern environments are designed to make overeating easy and movement unnecessary. The problem is not just individual weakness. The problem is a comfort system stronger than individual willpower. Food is easier. Movement is optional. Screens are everywhere. Sleep is disrupted. Stress is constant. And the body is asked to survive in an environment it was never designed for. So comfort does not destroy the body in one dramatic moment. It does it quietly. One skipped walk, one extra hour sitting, one more delivery meal, one more night scrolling, one more day where the body is not asked to be alive in the way it was built to be alive. Chapter 5. The Mind Problem. But comfort does not only affect the body, it also affects the mind. The human brain was not built for endless ease. It was built to solve problems, to search, to remember, to imagine danger, to plan, to cooperate, to survive uncertainty. The brain grows through friction. It becomes sharper when it has to focus. It becomes patient when it has to wait. It becomes resilient when it has to endure. But modern life removes more and more mental friction. Lost? Use GPS. Bored? Open an app. Confused? Search instantly. Lonely? Scroll. Sad? Watch something. Uncomfortable? Distract yourself. Waiting in line? Check your phone. Sitting alone? Check your phone. Eating? Check your phone. Walking? Check your phone. Going to sleep? Check your phone. Waking up? Check your phone. The modern human mind is rarely alone with itself. And that matters because boredom is not empty. Boredom is where the mind begins to process. Silence is where thoughts become clear. Waiting is where patience is built. Difficulty is where attention becomes stronger. But the modern world treats every uncomfortable mental state as a problem to be erased, and technology has become very good at erasing it. Today, digital life is not a small side activity. It is the environment many humans live inside. Data Reportal's 2026 Global Overview says more than 6 billion people now use the internet, and more than 1 billion people use AI every month. Its April 2026 update also reports 5.79 billion social media user identities worldwide, while noting that these identity counts are not the same as unique people. This is historically extraordinary. For the first time, billions of human minds are connected to machines that can deliver stimulation every second of the day. Not once a day, not once an hour, every second. The brain is being trained by constant novelty. A new video, a new message, a new post, a new image, a new argument, a new outrage, a new desire, a new comparison. The mind becomes used to quick rewards, quick answers, quick entertainment, quick escape, and slowly normal life begins to feel too slow. Reading feels hard, studying feels boring, deep work feels painful, silence feels uncomfortable. Real conversation feels less exciting than digital stimulation. The problem is not that technology exists. The problem is that the brain adapts to whatever it experiences repeatedly. If it repeatedly experiences distraction, it becomes better at distraction. If it repeatedly avoids boredom, boredom becomes unbearable. If it repeatedly chooses instant reward, delayed reward becomes harder. This is how comfort can weaken the mind. not by making humans stupid overnight, but by training us to escape every mental discomfort that once built focus, patience, and depth. The old world trained attention through necessity. The new world attacks attention through abundance. And a mind that cannot stay with discomfort becomes easy to control, not by force, by pleasure. Chapter 6: The Emotional Problem. There is another hidden cost of comfort: emotional fragility. Human beings do not become emotionally strong by avoiding every difficult feeling. They become strong by meeting difficult feelings and surviving them. Fear, rejection, failure, embarrassment, uncertainty, loneliness, boredom, disappointment. These feelings are uncomfortable, but they are also teachers. Failure teaches correction. Rejection teaches resilience. Uncertainty teaches courage. Boredom teaches self-control. Loneliness teaches the value of connection. Pain teaches boundaries. But modern comfort often offers escape before the lesson arrives. Feel anxious? Distract yourself. Feel rejected? Create a new identity online. Feel lonely? Scroll through people without actually connecting. Feel bored? Open entertainment. Feel insecure? Buy something. Feel empty? Consume something. The feeling disappears for a moment, but the person does not grow, and the next time discomfort appears, it feels even harder to face. This creates a cycle. A person feels discomfort. They escape into comfort. The comfort gives temporary relief, but the underlying problem remains. Then the discomfort returns stronger. So they need more comfort, more distraction, more food, more shopping, more scrolling, more entertainment, more avoidance. This is the comfort trap. Comfort becomes medicine for pain, but taken too often, it becomes poison. A person may not be physically trapped, but psychologically they become unable to leave the soft cage. They know they should move, but they do not. They know they should sleep, but they keep scrolling. They know they should work, but they keep delaying. They know they should talk to someone, but they avoid the conversation. They know they should change, but change feels uncomfortable. And comfort is always waiting nearby, offering escape, not healing. Escape. This is why too much comfort can be dangerous. It does not just give pleasure, it can remove the emotional training that makes humans capable of handling life. A life without discomfort may sound peaceful, but a human who cannot handle discomfort is not free. They are dependent on comfort. Chapter 7: The Social Problem. Humans are not solitary machines. We are social creatures. For early humans, the group was not optional. The tribe meant protection, food sharing, childcare, knowledge, identity, memory, survival. To be rejected from the group could mean death. That is why the human brain cares so deeply about belonging. But modern comfort has changed connection. Today, a person can be surrounded by digital contact and still feel emotionally alone. They can have followers but no real support, messages but no deep conversations, group chats but no tribe, likes but no intimacy. Screens can simulate connection without always providing the nourishment of connection. And this matters because loneliness is not just a sad feeling, it affects health. The U.S. Surgeon General's advisory on loneliness and isolation states that social disconnection is associated with higher risk of cardiovascular disease, dementia, stroke, depression, anxiety, and premature death. The advisory also compares the mortality impact of social disconnection to smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. This is one of the strange contradictions of modern life. We built the most connected civilization in history, and still, many people feel disconnected because connection became easier, but deep connection did not. It is easy to send a message. It is harder to be vulnerable. It is easy to react to a story. It is harder to sit with someone through pain. It is easy to collect contacts. It is harder to build trust. It is easy to be seen. It's harder to be known. Comfort allows us to avoid the awkward parts of human connection, the difficult conversation, the apology, the silence, the conflict, the effort of showing up, the risk of rejection. But those uncomfortable parts are often where real relationships are built. A tribe cannot be created by convenience alone. A real bond requires time, presence, sacrifice, shared struggle, mutual dependence. And that is something comfort often removes. In the old world, people needed each other to survive. In the modern world, many people can survive alone, but surviving alone is not the same as living well. Humanity may have escaped physical danger, but many people now face emotional isolation. The cave is gone, the predator is gone, the hunger is reduced, but the human still needs a tribe, and no amount of comfort can replace that. Chapter 8: The Purpose Problem. There is another problem comfort creates, a problem that appears after survival becomes easier: purpose. Early humans had problems that were direct and unavoidable: find food, protect the group, raise children, build shelter, avoid danger, survive the season. Their lives were hard, but the mission was clear. Modern humans live in a more comfortable world, but the mission is often unclear. Many people do not wake up fighting for survival. They wake up asking, why am I doing this? What is the point? Why do I feel empty when I have more than people in the past could imagine? This is not because modern humans are ungrateful. It is because the human brain was shaped for meaningful struggle and it wants challenge. It wants progress. It wants belonging. It wants contribution. It wants a reason to endure pain. Comfort can remove pain, but it cannot automatically create meaning. A person can have a comfortable room, a full stomach, fast internet, endless entertainment, and still feel lost. Because humans do not only need pleasure, they need direction. They need responsibility. They need something difficult enough to matter. This is one of the deepest truths about comfort. Comfort feels good in the moment, but meaning usually comes from effort. Raising a child is difficult. Building a skill is difficult. Creating something valuable is difficult. Keeping a promise is difficult. Helping others is difficult. Facing your own weaknesses is difficult. Purpose almost always asks for discomfort. So when a society teaches people to avoid discomfort at all costs, it may also teach them to avoid the path to meaning. The result is strange. People have more options than ever, more entertainment than ever, more convenience than ever, more freedom than ever. But many still feel restless, because the soul does not only ask, how can I feel good? It asks, what am I becoming? And comfort cannot answer that question. Chapter 9: The Comfort Machine. Modern comfort is not accidental anymore. It is engineered. Companies compete to remove friction. One-click buying, infinite scrolling, instant delivery, autoplay, personalized feeds, recommended videos, AI-generated answers, algorithmic entertainment. The goal is simple: make the next action effortless. Do not let the user stop. Do not let the user think too long. Do not let boredom return, because boredom creates exit, and exit is bad for business. So modern systems are designed to keep people inside comfort loops. The food app wants another order. The video app wants another watch. The shopping app wants another purchase. The social app wants another scroll. The game wants another reward. The platform wants more time. The machine does not hate humanity. It simply follows incentives. Attention becomes money. Convenience becomes money. Addiction becomes money. Comfort becomes a product. And the human brain becomes the battlefield. This is why blaming only the individual is not enough. Yes, people have responsibility. But responsibility now exists inside systems designed by thousands of experts to capture behavior. A single person with tired willpower is fighting against machines built to understand desire, boredom, insecurity, loneliness, and habit. The comfort machine knows when people are tired. It knows what they like. It knows what they fear. It knows what they click. It knows what keeps them watching. It knows how to turn weakness into engagement. And because the machine is comfortable, people often do not notice the cage. A cage made of pleasure does not feel like a cage at first. It feels like freedom until living it becomes difficult. Chapter 10: Are we becoming weaker? So, is comfort making humans weak? The honest answer is complicated. Humans today are not simply weaker than humans in the past. In many ways, modern humans are more capable. We have more knowledge, more medicine, more technology, more education, more communication, more tools, more ability to solve global problems. A modern person with a smartphone has access to more information than kings and emperors once had. A surgeon today can save lives that ancient healers could not understand. An engineer can build structures impossible in the old world. A scientist can see galaxies atoms, genes, and climate systems, comfort gave humans the space to think beyond survival. Without comfort, there may be no advanced science, no modern education, no global communication, no hospitals, no space exploration, no art at massive scale, and no long childhood education, no research labs, no peaceful intellectual life. So the argument is not that comfort made humans useless. The argument is that comfort removed many natural pressures before we created healthy replacements. We removed walking, but did not replace it with enough movement. We removed hunger, but did not replace it with food discipline. We removed boredom, but did not replace it with deep attention. We removed forced community, but did not replace it with intentional connection. We removed survival purpose, but did not replace it with meaningful responsibility. That is the real danger. Humanity did not become weak because comfort exists. Humanity becomes weak when comfort replaces all forms of resistance. A muscle needs resistance. A mind needs resistance. A relationship needs resistance. A character needs resistance. A civilization needs resistance. Without resistance, systems decay, not because they are evil, because they are untrained. The body becomes sedentary, the mind becomes distracted, the emotions become fragile, the relationships become shallow, the purpose becomes unclear, and slowly humans begin to suffer from the absence of the very struggles they once tried to escape. Chapter 11: The New Human Challenge. For early humans, challenge was automatic. The world delivered it. Cold, heat, distance, danger, scarcity, loss, hunger, work. Today, many challenges are optional. Exercise is optional. Deep work is optional. Silence is optional. Discipline is optional. Community is optional. Spiritual reflection is optional. Learning is optional. Hard conversations are optional. Even boredom is optional. This means the modern human faces a new kind of challenge. Not the challenge of surviving discomfort, but the challenge of choosing discomfort when comfort is available. That may be one of the hardest things humans have ever had to do, because forced struggle is simple. You either face it or you die. Voluntary struggle is different. You must choose it. You must wake up and choose the difficult thing when the easy thing is right there. Choose walking when sitting is easier. Choose cooking when delivery is easier. Choose reading when scrolling is easier. Choose training when resting is easier. Choose focus when distraction is easier. Choose conversation when avoidance is easier. Choose purpose when pleasure is easier. Modern strength is not about rejecting all comfort. It is about using comfort wisely without becoming dependent on it. A strong modern human does not need to live like a caveman, but they may need to remember that the body still needs movement. The mind still needs silence. The emotions still need resilience. The heart still needs real connection. The spirit still needs purpose. The world no longer forces these things upon us, so we must build them intentionally. That is the new survival skill: self-imposed resistance. Chapter 12: Comfort is not the enemy. Dependence is. A warm home is not the enemy. Never leaving it is. Food abundance is not the enemy. Losing control over appetite is. Technology is not the enemy. Being unable to exist without stimulation is. Entertainment is not the enemy. Using it to escape every difficult feeling is. Convenience is not the enemy. Letting it erase your strength is. The problem begins when comfort stops being recovery and becomes lifestyle. Recovery is healthy. The body needs rest. The mind needs peace. The heart needs safety. Humans were never meant to suffer constantly, but recovery only has meaning after effort. Rest is powerful after work. Food is meaningful after hunger. Comfort is healing after challenge. Peace is valuable after struggle. Without contrast, comfort becomes numbness. And that may be what many people feel today. Not happiness, numbness, not peace, avoidance, not freedom, dependence. The modern world gives us endless ways to feel good for a moment. But feeling good for a moment is not the same as becoming strong over a lifetime. So perhaps the question is not, is comfort destroying humanity? The better question is, can humanity survive comfort without forgetting how to struggle? Because struggle is not always the enemy. Sometimes struggle is the forge. It shapes the body, it sharpens the mind, it deepens relationships. It creates confidence. It gives life weight. It turns existence into a story. A life with no comfort is brutal, but a life with no challenge is empty. Humans need both. We need shelter from the storm, but we also need storms that remind us we are alive. Chapter 13. The Future. Softer or stronger? The future will probably become even more comfortable. AI will answer faster, delivery will become smoother, virtual worlds will become more immersive, entertainment will become more personalized, work may become less physical, machines may remove even more effort, homes may become smarter, cars may drive themselves, algorithms may know what we want before we do. In many ways, this will be amazing. It may save time, it may save lives, it may reduce suffering, it may help people learn, heal, create, and connect. But it will also test humanity, because the more comfort we create, the more discipline we will need. The easier life becomes, the more intentional strength must become. In the past, the environment trained humans by force. In the future, humans must train themselves by choice. That is a dangerous transition because not everyone will choose it. Some people will use comfort as a tool. Others will become tools of comfort. Some will use technology to become stronger. Others will use it to avoid becoming anything. Some will use abundance to build. Others will drown in it. The future may not divide people only by wealth or intelligence. It may divide people by their ability to resist comfort. Those who can choose discomfort may become stronger than ever. Those who cannot may become weaker while surrounded by everything they think they want. This is the final irony that the most dangerous environment for humans may not be a harsh one. Humans understand harsh environments. We know we must fight, we must adapt, we must endure, but a comfortable environment is more deceptive. It does not threaten you directly, it simply asks you to stay a little longer, scroll a little longer, eat a little more, move a little less, think a little less deeply, avoid one more hard thing. And over time, the person changes. Not through violence, through softness. Final chapter. The Comfort Trap. Humanity was born in discomfort. We walked through heat, we survived cold, we crossed landscapes, we hunted, gathered, built, failed, learned, and adapted. Every generation fought to make life safer for the next, and they succeeded. That success should not be mocked. It is one of the greatest achievements in history. But now we face the hidden cost of that success. We built a world that protects us from pain. But pain was sometimes the thing that forced us to grow. We built a world that saves time. But time without purpose becomes emptiness. We built a world that connects everyone. But connection without depth becomes loneliness. We built a world that feeds us easily. But abundance without discipline becomes sickness. We built a world that entertains us constantly. But stimulation without silence becomes mental noise. We built a world that gives us comfort, but comfort without challenge becomes a trap. So is comfort destroying humanity? Not by itself. Comfort is not the villain. Comfort is a tool. But if comfort becomes the highest goal, then yes, it can weaken us. Not because humans are broken, but because humans were made to adapt. And if the environment asks nothing from us, we adapt to that too. We become softer, less patient, less focused, less connected, less resilient, less alive. The solution is not to destroy comfort. The solution is to stop worshiping it. Use comfort to recover, but do not let it become your master. Use technology to grow, but do not let it think for you. Use convenience when needed, but do not let it erase your body. Enjoy pleasure, but do not run from pain, because the future of humanity may depend on one simple truth. We do not need to return to the brutal past, but we do need to bring back resistance. The body needs movement. The mind needs silence. The heart needs real people. The character needs difficulty. And the human spirit needs something worth struggling for. Maybe comfort is not destroying humanity. Maybe it is testing us. And the test is simple. Can we live in the softest world humans have ever created without becoming soft ourselves?